Bluey.
Alright guys, so just finished the little workout at the gym, and guys, when I look at the video that you're about to see right now, it's a very long video, and I decided to do it part 2 and part 3, so you can watch this one and look out for part 1, part 2 and part 3, guys. Alright, so now we're about to go supermarket. We did take a complete turn. We're about to go to the supermarket, and what sister she wants? Sister, what say you want? Sister want oxtail.
I want to tailor that ox, girl.
Yeah, so she want oxtail. So we'll get oxtail. Even though I'm on a fish and veggie diet for over 2 months, sis wants oxtail. So oxtail we're getting. So yeah. Oxtail morning. So watch the video, love the video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to comment. Comment no mean say I got foreign. So all the nurses them afraid for comment because you don't want nobody knows say comment don't mean say I got foreign. Comment just means say watch the video and you probably like something in the video. So like up the video, comment on the video. If there's anything that you'd want me to talk about, you let me know. Alright, so be up on yourself. Take care. Love it.
That was so fun.
She got a body like a goddess, and she talks so sweet. It's like I can't believe I'm the one that she wanted. And if I'm really being honest, I know I could be everything she needs if she let me get on it. Yeah. So come here, baby, listen close, hold me tight, don't let me go. Girl, you know that I'ma want you all my life.
Catch a jiff, you know. Catch a jiff now.
What I do?
Catch a jiff, you know.
Catch a drift. Wanna catch a drift, guys? Guys, wanna catch a drift? I eat him, girl, now.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Jamaican Dreamers, baby. Alright, so guys, I was getting ready this morning to go to my annual gynae appointment when I got a call from the doctor's office saying that my gynecologist is out with the flu. And so told myself that, oh, that's the makeup, because I was going to my gynecologist this morning. I had an early appointment. I was getting ready, about to shower, just done my makeup when I was told that he was going to be out for the day because he has the flu. So I decided to come to the gym instead. I'm also doing, the reason I still have on my makeup is that I'm also doing a promotion for a makeup line company that they want me to use their makeup product for 10 days and give them a review and all the works. I won't say the makeup line name, but yes, they wanted me to use their stuff, and so that's the reason I was doing my makeup to go to the gynecologist, right? Alright, so anyway, to the story. So as many of you know, I'm a registered nurse living in the US. I'm from Jamaica, right? So many persons have messaged me about the process of migrating to the US from Jamaica as a registered nurse, right? So this is only as a registered nurse. I can't speak for any other sector or any other immigration entry to the US, right? So was an RN living in Jamaica, work at a regional hospital for over 3 years. I always believe in giving back to my country, so always wanted to stay in Jamaica and make things happen. However, things wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. So I'm a girl that make moves. I make moves. Couple years, well, let me give you just a little scenario of how I make moves. Before I got the job at the hospital, at the regional hospital in St. Anne, right? I applied for the job one. So I had already moved because I lived in Kingston. I lived in Kingston since I was 8 years old. I moved to St. Anne, where I was born, where my siblings are, my mom is, majority of my family live in St. Anne, right? So I decided to move back to St. Anne. I like it rural. So yes, I decided to move back to St. Anne and start something there. So big up Augustine, that's where I'm from. Hope everything calm down and we are living at peace, because Augustine is one of the best places. One of the greatest places, one of the greatest inner city in Jamaica. Just done with the violence, guys. But it was a lot of violence where I lived in Augustine. A lot of stuff was happening. I decided to move because I like it. I was gonna move anyway, but you know, even if there was a second thought to say, you know, work somewhere in the city for a while first, there wasn't a second thought at this time based on all the violence and crime that was going on. So I decided to move to St. Anne and moved to St. Anne without even getting the job. When I went to the interview, the lady at the interview was like, oh, how you talking like you get the job already? Then I'm like, okay. In my head, I said, okay, yeah, me get the job. Me get the job. But anyway, I got the job. Before I got the job, just to show you how I make moves, before I got the job, I was looking at an apartment. I was looking at an apartment to stay because I was staying with my mother at this time because I just moved on. I wasn't working. I didn't have an income. So I was looking for an apartment, you know, making all these plans. I stayed at my mother for a month and a half before I actually got a suitable apartment, because at this time I had 2 kids and many people didn't know, but I was already pregnant with my 3rd child when I graduated, right? So here's the little 3rd child I'm talking about. Okay, I'm doing a video. Go to my So yes, so let's just sit down over there. No coffee. No coffee. So guys, Gracie, I'm doing my video. So guys, yeah. So at this time, I got the apartment at this time because I didn't have the money, but I was just looking. I was looking at apartments already, right? But I didn't have the money, and eventually, when I got paid for a month and a half, which was awesome. And then they gave me some allowance. No, Gracie, back that way. They gave me some allowance because of the time of year that I started. They have an allowance that they gave me a portion of it. I didn't get all of it, and they gave me a portion of it, right? And so that was a good start to start. And so immediately I started looking for well, I was always looking for one, but when I got this money, I was like, this is the time I can make moves. And so I got the house to rent. It wasn't an apartment. It was a house. So I got the house to rent. After 3 months of working at the hospital, I was at the banks asking, how do I get a car loan? Because I just make moves. That's how I am. I like to be prepared way in advance. So I went to the bank, asking them. So I went to JN, I asked them. I went to NCB, I went to Scotia, and they were like, "You're just 3 months in your it wasn't a contract. You're just 3 months. You just started working 3 months. Like, we need more than this to be able to give you more information and getting a car loan." And so I went to the credit union, and the credit union was like, yeah, you can get a car loan, but you need to be working for more than 3 months to be qualified or to be considered to get a car loan. That's just me. I'm like, I tell them that, listen, I just need to know the requirements for getting the car loan, right? I just need to know the requirements. at this point, so that when my 6 months come, I am ready. It was 6 months to a year, I think they said. But I think with the credit union, I had to have some money in the bank, in their credit union organization, in order to get the loan and all of that. I was a broke girl. And it was COVID time, guys. I was broke. And at that time, I was broke. And remember, I was pregnant also. So, you know it. 3 kids pregnant, well, 2 kids pregnant, and just start work 3 months ago. There is no money in the piggy bank at this point. Just finished university, just finished graduation, you know, there was no money in the piggy bank. So yeah, so I decided to go with the credit union, but then there was a big up yourself what case. So there was a co-worker of mine who did a loan. It was a unsecured loan through NCB. I did my unsecured loan through NCB because of the connection that she, you know. And guys, listen. So I had to work a year before I could access a loan through these entities. I started working at the regional hospital on the 10th of February. And on the 10th of February, the next year, I didn't make a day pass. On the 10th of February the next year, I went for my loan. And on that exact day, I got the loan. On the exact day, the money was transferred to my account. I got the loan because guess what? I did not wait until the 1 year to come to start the process. I had started the process already. I did get my letter from my regional hospital. I did get every requirements in place. And the day of my anniversary, my 1 year anniversary, because that was the last requirement to be working for 1 year. My 1 year anniversary on the 10th of February, I went into the bank and I said, I'm ready for my loan. So I'm a girl that loves to make moves. I like to plan. I like to know what's going on. So back to my original story, right? Because that was long, right? But yeah. So back to my original story. So I was there. After some time, I decided that listen, I got COVID sometime, and then it's like after experiencing COVID, I was like, I need to get my house in order. I need to do something because one, I had gotten the loan and I had bought a car. I put the car on the road as a means of income, right? 2, I was living in a rental house at the time, Gracie. So I was living in a rental house, and it's like when I got COVID, I was hospitalized for a week. I was on oxygen, and the doctor was saying to me that she don't think I have a good chance of making it, and Gracie stop. So she don't think I had a good chance of making it, and people at my age this sick doesn't usually make it. And she was like, Miss, like, pray, because you have your kids them to go home to, you have your husband to go home to, pray. There's nothing can help you but prayer at this time. Just pray about it. I did pray about it, yes. But let me tell you, it was COVID that brought it to the forefront that, listen, you need to do something else. There is something that's missing. With COVID, I was saying to myself, because I was trying to get the money, save up to get a mortgage, right? But it's not happening. With the pay that I was getting before the increase, well, nurses got an increase. It's not much, guys, but they got an increase lately. It was the way back pay. So nurses who know, it was the way back pay. Less than $100,000. Way less than $100,000. Let me tell you that was what nurses were getting after 4 years of university, paying $500,000 or more for nursing school per year. So yes, so I went to housing trust, and housing trust was saying that I had to have some money put down because there were some things that I had to do in order to get it all sorted out. right? So there were some things that I had to do. You had to get like a whole lot of stuff in place. So when I did some research on YouTube, they were saying like you have to have like $500,000 for start this process. I started looking for houses that were already built and what's those houses again? I can't remember them, but you know the houses that they be like in the scheme, and you can go there and you get NHT and you get those houses. Like they were on specials for like people that work with the government and so forth. I could not get those. I was told that there's a list, and trust me, you have to have links to go on that list, right? Fine. Housing Trust was telling me that they can give me a set amount of money. I don't remember how much at this point because it was years ago, guys. So they were telling me that they can give me a set amount of money. Let's say they were going to give me like $3 million, right? I don't think it's so much, but let's say they were going to give me $3 million. Where I lived, there was no land selling for that amount of money, right? So I could not get a piece of land for the money that they were offering. And so I had to have some money, guys. I just graduated from nursing school. I don't have any money. At this point, it has been like about a year or so. I did not have any money. When I went to Housing Trust, there was another co-worker there, and when I followed up with her, she was like, girl, I had to forget about it because the process was too tedious. I am not working enough money to do this. Fine. And so Housing Trust wasn't working out. COVID brought it to my forefront that, listen girl, you need to get your game on. You need to do something. And even at that point, I was wondering, what am I gonna do? Should I go to work in the hotel? Maybe I can get better paid here. You know, something got to get. And so one day I was talking to my little brother, and he was telling me a situation in the family, and that boy, help is needed in a certain sector in the family, right? And I was like, I can't even help myself. How am I going to help anyone in my family? How am I going to help anyone? If I should take $10,000 out of my paycheck and give my mother or anybody, I would suffer for the rest of the month. I was living hand to mouth. I was living paycheck to paycheck. The car was bringing in that income, and trust me, if I had gone to the market to buy, let's say I've gone to the market and I had bought some vegetables or some fruits, I could only afford maybe a quarter pound of grape or a half pound of grape. I am being honest here, guys. It wasn't happening. Things were too expensive. It just was not happening. And so a friend of mine was telling me that, Lo, apply for the overseas program, because she had gone on it, right? And she was like, apply for the program, ma'am. Tell her, I said, soon do it, ma'am, soon do it. But when my brother brought the news to me that a family member needed help, and I could not have helped that family member, I decided that I'm really gonna make this move. I almost died leaving my kids in a rented house with a car loan, right? I didn't have student loan because thankfully I have a big brother that is a very awesome one. Big up yourself, Linvalo. He saw me through nursing school, and I am so grateful for that, because can you imagine having student loan on my hand at that time? I could not have afforded it. And so when I started, so guys, I'm just getting into the meat of the matter, right? So, but I just wanted to give it a run through so you understand where I'm coming from. Why did I decided that I wanted to migrate? So because of all of that, I decided that, listen, the only way I'm going to gain something from all this struggle, from all that I've been through, right? I was raised by my cousin, because my father died when I was 8. My mother had 7 children, and so I was raised by my cousin in Kingston, right? So you know, say I have to do road, I have to go out there and make something of myself, because I did not have that parental background to say, oh, mommy can do this, and she had 7 children, right? All right, fine. So at this point, and everything was not glitter, everything was not gold growing up, guys. Believe me, you might, I'm looking back on what I said, and I have said my brother had saw me through nursing school, but with our father passing away, 7 children to a mother, it was not gold. So my brother is a go-getter like myself, and he made it. He has a story to tell. I probably asked him one day if I can come and tell his story, but he has a story to tell how he got to the point where he was able to afford my nursing school, more than $500,000 to go to nursing school each year, plus books, plus everything that I had needed. Fine. But let's get into the story, how to start the whole process of coming to the US. So when I decided that, listen, I'm gonna do this, my friend told me that she didn't like her agency that much and I should try another agency. When I had applied to the agencies, I applied and I was working at a pediatric unit at this time, and when I had applied to a certain company, they tell me that no, they're not looking at anybody in the pediatric field at this time. So I was like, you know what, my hospital always reassign me. They always reassign me to other units. I can tell you that out of the week, out of the 5 days of the week, I'll be reassigned 2 or 3 times out of that week to go to the adult units to work. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put on my resume that, listen, I work med-surg. I'm not going to put any age group because I have experience in all age groups. The only place I hardly went was NICU, and I've went there several times, right? And NICU hold kids up to 28 days, and then they send them to the pediatric unit. So it is just from birth to 28, you know? But anyways, so I had to change that on my thing, guys. So, you know, if you have to do what you have to do, that's what I would say. So, I had just taken out the whole pediatric thing and just tell him that, listen, I work on med-surg unit. Fine. When I had applied, so my friend, her aunt went through the company that I went through. So when I had applied, so I found the name of the company. I just went to Google, type in the name of the company. So guys, there are a number of companies out there. I'm going to list some of them. Nurses, if you want to do the do, then do the do. If you're comfortable in Jamaica, nobody's forcing you. Do what makes you comfortable. Do what you have to do, right? I really don't like the brain drain in Jamaica with nurses, but some of us just got to do what we have to do. Who can stay back and make the nursing sector as good as possible, right? But I strongly believe, let me add this before I go any further, I strongly believe that one day I will come back to Jamaica and give more of my skill, you know, and what I've acquired to my country. But I got to do this one for my family, guys. I have to do this one for my family. I got 3 kids. I got to do this for my kids. I got to do this for my aunt that raised me. I got to do this for my brothers and sisters, especially my brother Linval Low, because one day, if him says, sis, they got 3,000 US now, or give me a 3,000 US for the something, I'm supposed to say, hey bro, after everything you do for me. My cousin will grow, I'm supposed to say, here. You understand me? I'm supposed to be able to, like, I was grown without a father. I want to be in the position where I can give back to all those persons who made my way possible, right? So with all of that said and done, it's a whole lot of story, guys. So if me I give it too much, it's just a whole lot, right? So after typing it in, applying to the company, when I applied to the company, well, I just clicked, as I said, just type in the name. I was gonna give you some name of the companies, right? So some of the companies, you have MedPro. So type in MedPro in your search bar. I did not go with MedPro. Type in MedPro in your search bar. There's a lot of companies out there, and there's been a lot since I've been here, because I've been here almost 2 years now in the US, right? So you have MedPro, you have OGP, that's Upgraded Payton International, and they're having a name change now. They're AMN, right? AMN is the same thing as OGP, Upgraded Payton International. You have I'm trying to remember them, guys. It's a whole lot of them out there, you know. It's a whole lot of them, and you can just, if you don't know, if you can't figure out any, just type in your search bar international nursing programs, or just brainstorm, all right, and just type that in and try to find a credible one. Get a referral from a friend. I will maybe put in the link or somewhere some of the other names, but I know MedPro or Upgraded Payton, also known as AMN. My friends went with some of them, man. I can't remember them now, but I'll put them down in the link, and you guys go ahead and do the do, right? So I had applied. I wait for them to call me. When they reached out to me by email, they told me that yes, they're recruiting persons at this time. So what they did, they sent me a test. So they sent me a test. I did the test. I passed the test, and I was told that if you don't pass the test, they'll give it to you up to 3 times. I don't know. That was over. You will hear the rest of the process, but it was a long, tedious process. So yes, I was told that you can do the test up to 3 times. I'm not sure if it's more, or I'm not sure, but I did the test. The first time I did the test, I passed the test. It's nothing about the US, it's about just basic nursing knowledge, right? It goes in depth, yes, but it's not necessarily about things that you'll actually do in the US, but it's just the knowledge that a nurse should have. Most of the companies, they like to have nurses that have 6 months or more experience. I think my company wanted a year experience. Some of them wanted a year experience, and at the time that I applied, I had gone 2 years of experience already. No, wrong. Yes, I had gone 2 years of experience already. So I was in the go. When they emailed me telling me that I passed the test at this time, they emailed me telling that I should sign a contract, and they are now my employer. So I signed a contract saying that this company is now my employer, and there and then everything started. Once you sign that contract, they'll tell you that, listen, now we go to, after signing the contract, they told me that they have classes starting, and they gave me a couple of days. So I had done this test like about November, December, October, thereabout. That was the time I did the test. The next available date for starting the classes, because you have to do classes, guys. So the next available date for starting the classes, orientation date, was in January. So I had to wait until January to start. So even though I'd signed the contract and everything, I waited until January to start, right? Started in January, my orientation. They sent me some books, so I had to pay $200, guys. I paid $200, and this is just for security, to say that yes, I will follow through with this program. It covered my books, to ship them to Jamaica, and it was delivered to my home in Jamaica by DHL. So they delivered my books, only paid $200. The company that I went with, I was kind of skeptic as to what was going on when they had asked me, because even though my friend aunt was going with this company, I was kind of skeptic, because they were like, to pay the $200, you have to give us your credit card information and then we'll call you by phone and get your PIN. Something of that sort, right? So I was like, no, that means that they can go in my account and pay for stuff and take off money. I did not trust this process. And so I had emailed them telling them that I did not trust this process. Like, and I had called my friend asking her about the whole process, and she was like, yeah man, it's secured, it's all secured, because my friend had passed the exam at this time. They had paid for so many things for her. So she was like, yeah man, that's how they do it. It's a secure process. And when you come to the US, you'll find a lot of business places do that too. So yes, that was a secure process. They did take the $200 US, guys, US dollars. Remember, we're talking about the US. So they did take the $200 US off my credit card. They sent my books. My friend aunt gave me some materials, some NCLEX materials, because they're going to prepare you for NCLEX at this time. They will send you a book this big. I think it was about 2 or 3 books this big, guys. But so they sent me the book. I was studying already. I was studying before the first test that they gave me, because that's just how I am. I like to be prepared. And so they sent me the book. I started classes. They had an online platform. They used Kaplan. So Kaplan was what they used, right? So Kaplan, you have to have a computer. You have to have internet, guys. Good computer, good internet. So they had Kaplan. They had like live classes. They have a whole barrage of stuff, everything that you need to start your process. So when I started studying, it was hectic because, guys, I just had a baby. My baby was like 1. At this point, my baby was about 1 year old. And COVID let me miss her birthday, guys. Just putting that in. I was in the hospital on her birthday because of COVID. So I had a 1 year old, I had a 3 year old, and I had a bigger child. What was her age? If he was 3, at this point he's now 6 and she's now 12, so half her age. So she was 6 years old. Was she? I don't think so. Well, however it went. So I had a 1 year old, 3 year old, and about 6, 7 year old at this time. So guys, I don't know if my math is right. Yeah, about 7 year old at this time, right? 6 years old. However it went. So I had the 3 kids. It was COVID time. My husband's not working. It's just me, and I'm going to school, full-time school, right? And full-time work. Like it couldn't get any worse. So anyways, started the whole program. They tell you exactly, you know, every week you have a test coming up. They give you assignments and stuff, and it's due at a certain time. You have to get a certain grade. I did this from January to about 6 months. I did it for 6 months. When I got to the point to say that, okay, you can now be considered, because you have to complete a certain amount of work to be considered to do the pre-NCLEX. So they'll give you a pre-NCLEX. They have 3 pre-NCLEX tests. So the first pre-NCLEX, she was like, yes, you passed, man, you passed, you're good. We're gonna book you a date and we're gonna send you to go do your exam. Okay. She was like, in the meantime, do the other 2 pre-NCLEX. When I did the second pre-NCLEX, she was like, you fall just on the margin. We don't want you on the margin. We want you to pass. Once you are able to pass this pre-NCLEX, then you're able to pass NCLEX. So she was like, you fall right on the margin. And guys, NCLEX is a lot complicated. You will be doing NCLEX and you're like, these questions are easy, man. Yeah, I must pass. But NCLEX, with NCLEX, when you're getting the hard questions, that's when you should feel good. Not when you're getting the easy questions, guys. Easy questions mean that you're not ready for hard questions. When you get the hard questions and you're getting them right, you're like, oh yeah, let me go harder, let me go harder. You understand? When you keep getting them wrong now, they're like, oh, she's not ready for the hard one. Let me go easier, let me go. That's how NCLEX works. So you might get a 60% on your pre-NCLEX, and that's not a pass. While you could get 50% on your pre-NCLEX, and that's a pass because you were getting the harder questions. So NCLEX is complicated as it relates to the grading. That you will learn in the process, right? So I did my second pre-NCLEX and she was like, you're right on the border. I don't want you on the border. So she called me and she was like, listen, I have to reschedule. I have to reschedule you. I'm going to give you 6 more weeks to study. I'm going to give you 6 more weeks to study, and then I'm going to book you again. No, she was like, I'm going to give you 6 more weeks and I'm going to book you. Right, I'm going to book you. So she booked me for the other one. She rebooked me and she gave me the 6 weeks to say put more work in. Fine. So this is not NCLEX, this is pre-NCLEX given to me by my agency. Fine. When I went and I did the 3rd pre-NCLEX, she was like, I think you're ready to go now, you're ready. 1, part 2 and part 3. So you can watch this one and look out for part 1, part 2 and part 3, guys.